Divine greetings, my lovelies. I am so happy to be back, and I would love to welcome you to Collective Consciousness. For those of you who have never been here before, this is a show dedicated to assisting those who are on their journey to self-mastery. What we focus on here is expanding your consciousness. So I have been absent, MIA, for a few weeks, and with that, I have a lot of new exciting things for Collective Consciousness that I'm so excited to share with you guys. And we are going to get into all of that. But before we dive in, I need you to take a second. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, smash that subscribe button down below. Also, it really helps out the channel if you give us a thumbs up. So go ahead and like as well. And please feel free to leave comments. I love this to be an interactive space. So leave comments, questions, concerns, stories. We love all of that. All right. Thanks so much for joining, and let's dive on into today's topic. So those of you who have been following Collective Consciousness for a while kind of understands what's been going on here. Well, I'm going to revamp some things. I'm also going to include some extra things. So we'll put all of that at the end of this video. So be sure to stay tuned to the end. That way you don't miss out the new upcoming exciting news that Collective Consciousness is up to. Also, we're going to start calling it COCO for short because Collective Consciousness is a mouthful. Am I right? All right, so what we're talking about this week, we are talking about the 100 Monkey Experiment. So for those of you who have been following since day one, the very first episode, we discussed the consciousness grid and what is consciousness. I'll add the link down below for those of you who did miss the first episode. So in the consciousness episode, we discussed the consciousness grid, which is a grid, a multidimensional grid that surrounds the earth, that we have the subconscious access to. It contains the memories and the life and everything of our human consciousness, our human experience. Okay, this consciousness grid also exists for other species. Each species has their own grid. And today we are going to examine one of the most popular examples of this, of how we are able to communicate with each other non-verbally through the consciousness grid. So this consciousness grid contains information, right? We are all within the planet Earth, correct? Now, around Earth is where the consciousness grid resides. Inside of that, there's bits of information that is everything about human consciousness, right? Everything that we've been through, the Akashic record, all of this information is trapped within this grid, which we can access, okay? So let's talk about the 100 Monkey Experiment. In the southern islands of Japan, there was an experiment that took place. There was a study conducted of a certain kind of monkey, the macaca fuscata, and this study took place for about 30 years, where they studied the behaviors of these monkeys. The experiment went like this. They would bring a crate to each of these little islands and drop a crate of sweet potatoes for the monkeys to eat. The monkeys loved the sweet potatoes, but they didn't so much love the sand that would get in the sweet potatoes when the crate crashed down, right? So the older monkeys would eat the sweet potatoes and spit out the sand, right? Eat the sweet potatoes, spit out the sand. Well, there were a few younger monkeys that had a better idea. Maybe if I just took the sweet potato and rinsed it off in this water, then I can eat the sweet potato without getting sand in it. A couple of the younger monkeys agreed with this and said that this was a brilliant idea, and they joined the singular monkey. The older monkeys, however, disagreed. They did not find value in being able to go wash the monkeys. This is how the monkeys have always done it. They eat the sweet potatoes, they spit out the sand. That's what we're accustomed to. That's what we do. We are the Macau monkeys, and this is how we band together. Right? Well, more and more monkeys began to rinse off their sweet potatoes in the sand. Now, on this specific island, once that level hit critical mass of the amount of monkeys that began washing off their sweet potatoes, then this information became available to the other monkeys from the other islands. And then just out of nowhere, more and more monkeys started washing off their sweet potatoes in the water. So if we're going to bring this all together, right? I'm not relating us to monkeys by any means, but what I am saying is that we have those same type of behaviors because we also have a grid specific to humans that we all have access to. So right now, the world is undergoing a huge spiritual awakening. There are many, many of us that are waking up every day, and we yearn and crave for this type of knowledge and this type of advancement and self-growth and self-improvement, right? We want to demand what we want from this world, from our own personal realities. I don't know about you guys, but I'm super tired of having to be a cog in the machine and just the mundaneness of life and going to work. And if there's one thing that 2020 has taught me, nothing can be predicted, okay? Like, everything that we have access to can change. Everything that we are accustomed to can switch, right? So we have to be in control of our own realities. We have to be in control of our own minds, our own physical beings, because that is how you achieve ultimate growth. That is how you achieve self-mastery. That's the road to take to get there. Okay? And I'm here as your friend, as, your spiritual leader to help guide you through this. So, with there being so many spiritual awakenings taking place on this planet, we are about to reach critical mass. We are almost at our 100th monkey, okay? So what this means is once we get to our 100 monkeys, and once we get to that point of critical mass, and once we get to the point to where this information is easily accessible within our consciousness grid, then more and more people are going to have easier access to this information and intuitively know that, hey, I am a magnificent being. I have divinity within me, right? I am a piece of God and I can create my own reality and I have power over that, right? This is to empower one another. This is to help one another be able to work together, create a community, right? And create a more sustainable way of living than the primitive way that we've been trained within these systems that were created around us. Okay, are you guys following me here? Like, I want us to be that 100th monkey. I want you to take this information that I share with you, the light and the love that I share with you, and I need you to spread it to other people, because that is how we reach that 100th monkey. That is how we continue to wake up the planet. That is how we move forward. So this is a perfect time for me to kind of tell you where collective consciousness is going from here. We're going to take a second. I'm going to sip my tea for a minute. I've been drinking my elderberry tea every morning to try to enhance my immune system, to set my cells right, give my cells a little food and a little love. Okay? So, okay. So what collective consciousness, sorry, I got a little elderberry in there. What collective consciousness is doing next? We are doing some big, exciting things, okay? I'm going to continue with the weekly YouTube videos, the weekly episodes, because that is important. I want everyone to be able to share and enjoy in that. For those of you who are interested in going a little deeper and really uncovering the truth about your own self-worth, your own power, your own abilities, and if you want to know the truth, then I have an elite separate group, a VIP group that I'm starting, where we're going to have a bunch of different things. I'm going to offer nightly meditations, sleep meditations. I'm going to offer affirmations, morning, daily affirmations. I'm going to offer a weekly group meditation to where we can all meditate together and increase the vibration that we're putting out and amplify that by unifying. Okay, so we're going to do a weekly meditation. We're also going to include a weekly group panel conversation to where we'll have a special topic, and I'll take, suggestions from you guys about what we want to talk about, what we want to learn, what is pressing, what's going on in the media. I don't know, whatever you guys want to talk about, and we'll look at it from a higher vibrational standpoint. And I will help guide and coach you all, retraining neural pathways to create more of a positive experience in your personal life. So the whole purpose of this is to help raise your vibration. Okay, so we are trained from a young age to automatically go to the negative. Like, oh, well, that doesn't work out, and our minds are trained to think disaster first, to think how things can go wrong first. Well, I'm here to break that cycle. I'm here to teach you that you have the power, you have the ability to change what happens to you, even after maybe something negative may take place. You can change the outcome just by your reaction. And the only way you can react in a way that will change that outcome is by rewiring these neural pathways. We have to unlearn those bad habits and relearn the good ones. So this group is going to help us learn the good habits, okay? So what I want from you guys right now, if that is something you are interested in, down below, I need you to drop a hashtag interested. And I will reach out to you guys on the next week's episode. That's when I'm going to be putting everything together and reaching out to everyone and making it happen. So right now I'm just gauging from those who respond to see who is interested in something like this, who is interested in taking it to the next step, who is interested in building upon their personal spirituality and blossoming into the flower that I know you are, and that you will soon also know you are as well. So like I said, if you are interested in diving deeper, go ahead and drop a hashtag interested down below. Okay, we are going to get to that 100th monkey, everyone. We are going to get to the point to where this information doesn't have to be searched for. You'll know it within your heart. You'll know it within your spirit and your being. You'll know what to do. Just how when we're born, we just know how to breathe. This information needs to be just as accessible as the breath, the knowledge of breath. Okay? Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us for today. What I want for you guys to do this week, I want you to tell at least 3 people about this show. I want you to tell at least 3 people about what you've learned in your consciousness, in your awareness, and in this experience. And bring those people back with you next week. Let us get to the 100th monkey. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. I love you. Asè and Namaste.